The France versus Germany game in the quarterfinals of this Euros was probably the craziest game of football that I have ever seen. The knockouts were just crazy. Even the games where the favorite won included shocking moments. And the Sweden versus England game, oh my god, you don't get much better than that, even though the quality of football was kind of shocking, especially the pens. We should have known the knockouts were going to be this turbulent after that Poland-Denmark game on match day 3. Like, two eliminated teams going at it back and forth, nothing to play for but pride. Poland end up getting their first ever Euros win, and I really think that really set the tone for what was going to come in the knockout stages. But that game actually had goals scored. The knockouts have been relatively very low scoring. Then of course, the final. Possibly the most turbulent of all. We'll get to that recap at the end of the video. Usually I go in chronological order, but I think it's only natural to start with that quarterfinal game between France and Germany. France were definitely the favorites entering this game due to Germany literally coming off of their worst ever defeat in Euros history. I really talked about the Sweden-Germany game in my video previewing the quarterfinals, but all you have to know is that Germany's offense was not looking great in their first 2 games of the group stage. So in response, the coach changed their game plan for the players to have a lot more free roam. It seemed like it was working as Brand scored early, but the defense was not doing well out of position, and Sweden exposed them 4-1. And so naturally, you'd look at France's attacking options versus Germany, and most people probably thought it was over, especially since that Germany were down 2 right backs after Wamser's handball. When the game kicked off though, bad seemingly went to worse, as Katrin Hendrich, a veteran, did probably the dumbest thing I have ever seen on a football pitch. Like, her hand is fully in Mbach's hair. And they tried to argue against it, but it was so obvious in video review. Guerrero scored the penalty, and I think everybody thought France was about to run riot. In hindsight, this celebration is funny given what would then happen in this game. Only 10 minutes after going down 10 men, Germany equalized. This Nuskin header is impossible. Getting this on target from that angle is absolutely ridiculous. France takes advantage of having an extra player, and Cascarino scores a back heel. Wait, never mind, offside. After halftime though, they finally get the goal. It was coming. Oh my god, there's no way. Honestly, it seems like Germany was playing better with only 10 players. They lasted 110 minutes without conceding since a penalty. That's ridiculous. It was just amazing TV. The battle between Jule Brandt and Selma Bacha kept going back and forth. I am surprised Brand's legs were still working. She was all over the pitch. She was doing a double shift because of Hendrick's red card, so she was basically right back and right wing at the same time. I saw a stat that said she ran over 12 kilometers this match. What? Then it happened. Brand got the better of Bacha and forced a penalty. Were Germany going to take advantage and the lead with 10 players? Nuskin is such a funny player, bro. I love her. Still, France could not score with an extra player. Their best chance, aside for their offside goals, came from an almost own goal that led to Ann-Katrin Berger having the save of her life. The craziest thing about this though is that Berger played horribly against Sweden. But again, she shows she's best when the lights are brightest. Well, sometimes. We'll get into that later. Meanwhile, Ket, the 20-year-old left back for Bayern Munich, was showing out, handling Cascarino, who's one of the best players in the tournament so far. Unfortunately, she had to come out in extra time. And who did he sub in? Selena Cerci. That's how bad their fullback depth was getting. They subbed on a striker to play fullback. It worked. Mellard had the last chance, and it was so close for France. Then, of course, the pens, which were nerve-wracking. But I have no idea what Amel Majri did. Like, what is this lineup? France, for some reason, sent out the youngsters for the do-or-die penalties, which is strange. There was veterans on the field, and Berger saves Sombat's pen, and Germany pulls off the impossible. They couldn't even celebrate for a second, though, because they had to check if Berger was on the line. Bacha postgame saying Germany didn't deserve it is crazy. France had a man advantage for 110 minutes and couldn't score 1 goal. Germany's effort was just incredible. It's kind of funny though that both these teams fought like hell in this game for so long, and the reward is to face Spain in the semifinals. So back to the first quarterfinal, played Norway and Italy. I don't want to talk about it. Hell, I just made a video about Norway and it's so frustrating. This game was a gift for the neutral fan, not for me. Italy, again, I keep saying this, a very different team than what they were just 5 years ago. They play as a team with a shared style of play, mostly because a lot of the players play in the same league. They know each other. This game had everything. A quick goal in the second half to take the lead, Hegerberg missing a penalty to equalize, but then scoring a goal a minute later, chances the rest of the match, and right before it seems we were headed for extra time, Girelli scores a 90th minute game winner for Italy, sending Italy to the Euros semifinals for the first time since 1997, where they ended up beating Spain to meet Germany in the final. This wouldn't be the only time we got a last-second goal in these knockouts. The problem with Italy that was becoming apparent, this team lives and dies by their captain Girelli, and that was about to be an issue in the semifinals. Italy also rarely made the most of their chances. I think development of players generally is still an issue for them, but the team is still set up well. Sweden versus England was probably the most anticipated matchup of the quarterfinals, and for good reason. Sweden went up 2-0 in 25 minutes. And I mean, the first goal was just ridiculous. Both Jess Carter and Kira Walsh make a mess of things in the back, and Kosovar Aslani makes them pay. Later, Stina Blackstenius just flew by Carter, making the game 2-0. It seemed that the problem England had with its defense in the group stage was going to continue, but it didn't. Sweden stepped off the gas and let England back into the game. Time was ticking down though, and Bronze out of nowhere in the 79th minute equalized, possibly making up for poor performances this tournament. Literally right on kickoff, who would be the one to score the equalizer? The one, the only, Michelle Aijemang, the super sub herself, saving England, which will become a theme. What a collapse by Sweden. This game ended up going to pens, and I think we all wish we did not watch this shootout. By God, it was horrific. Sweden had the chance to win and sent their goalie. For some reason, in sudden death, Sweden sent the 18-year-old Smiler Holmberg to kick the pen. And oh my God, why does this keep happening? Protect the youngsters. Amazing game overall though. Crazy collapse by Sweden, who you could tell had much more in them. The reigning Euros champions then moved through to a favorable matchup against Italy. Spain versus Switzerland in the quarterfinals wasn't all that crazy of a game. It went the way most people thought it would, but there are some very notable parts about this game. Remember how I said in my previews that maybe Mariona Caldente would do her girlfriend a solid in the Switzerland game by making an error like she did against Italy? Well, that did happen. She avoids sleeping on the couch back in London. Everyone is missing, oh my God. Switzerland's defense was showing out against this loaded Spain side. The score was 0-0 at halftime, which honestly isn't that surprising. Switzerland's first half defense did not allow a single goal in the first half of all their Euros games. Spain did have some chances that Switzerland kept denying, mostly by the goalie Peng. Also, I'm going to call something out here. Can the media stop using Alicia Lyman for literally all the promo surrounding Switzerland? She's not a starter. She barely plays. Why is she the Swiss representative on Fox's highlights? This sequence in the 60th minute was actually insane. I have no idea how Switzerland got out of this. Unfortunately, despite all the last-ditch efforts, Switzerland's lack of offense caught up to them, and Spain finally broke through after dominating all game. An incredible backheel assist from Aitana to Athenia. Claudia Pina wasn't going to let the Madrista get all of the attention though. She released a worldie into the top right-hand corner, 2-0. The talent on this team, man, outweighs the bad coaching. And the rest weren't that good either, I guess. Spain get another penalty to put the game away in the 87th minute. Puteya, what is going on? Overall, a good showing by the host nation. Getting out of that group stage was impressive enough, especially for a team that young. And unfortunately, they had to meet the World Cup champions in the quarters. So we finally get to the semifinals. England versus Italy and Spain versus Germany. Again, two matches with pretty clear favorites. I really didn't want a World Cup rematch, but here we are. The England versus Italy game was so stressful for both sides. Serena Wiegmann is going to get herself in trouble in these days for not rotating the squad at all. Like, Aijemang should probably be starting. I get wanting her as a super sub, but there's no way she rolls out with weight. Oh my God, she did it. She rotated, kind of? Wait, why is Morgan starting? You have an actual left back on the roster. Just push Greenwood back inside and start Charles. Russo, this game, it seemed all chances just died with her. The 34-year-old Juventus legend Barbara Bonasse miraculously gave the Italians the lead in the 33rd minute. And oh my god, look who was at the center of it. Honestly, Bronze should have probably gotten a red or at least a yellow card this game. I don't know how she was getting away and not getting booked for some of the things she was doing. Meanwhile, Lara Giuliani was giving it her all, denying England chance after chance. And look, it did cross my mind that Italy would pull off the upset, of course. But it just felt like England would do what they have done against Sweden and come from behind. And that's exactly what happened. With around 30 minutes left in the match, Italy started time wasting. Like on an objectively gross level. I understand why they might have done that, but that can backfire. Especially when you have a 1-goal lead, because guess who has all the momentum if they score a goal? In the 86th minute, everybody thinks the game is over, except for England's savior. Aubameyang again kills Italy's dreams. Yes, it was only an equalizer to send the game to extra time, but the way Italy were set up, it was pretty clear this would be England. But the way England won was not... that shouldn't have happened. It seems like Italy are about to force penalties, their best shot at winning, but England is given a penalty after Mead was brought down, quote unquote. I'm shocked VAR didn't turn this over. It is clear that both players were grabbing each other and Mead brought down Severini with her. Like, it's very clear on the replay. Kelly actually missed the pen, but puts in the rebound and celebrates like this. Okay, that's all I have to say to that. If I was Italy, my head would be on Mars. Germany, on the other hand, were up to some bullshit again against Spain. Germany showed their resilience with their defense despite being short-handed. The good news, though, is that Vamser was available again. Unfortunately, though, Sjoeke Nusken was not, as she collected too many yellow cards, and of course, Hendrich was obviously serving the red card suspension from France. Sophia Kleinhorn was thrown into the starting lineup and did her job in the back line, but the offense was less than ideal. While their defense was preventing the best team in the world from scoring, the German attackers just could not figure it out. And by attackers, I am talking about Hoffmann primarily. I mean, you definitely wanted more from Buell this game, but Hoffmann was just not working. And look, I understand starting her to a degree. She's a hold-up player and it worked against France. She showed no threat to score though. Schuler wasn't the most effective player in the group stage, but at least she was scoring. They were severely missing Nusken in the midfield as a way to advance and distribute. But yeah, if you told me this game would end 0-0 in normal time, I would have not believed you. What do you mean Spain failed to score against a backline whose best player is their winger? To be fair, Anne Katzenberger was still looking like the version of herself from the France game. But she's kind of like a Cinderella, if that makes sense. Like, eventually the carriage is gonna turn back into a pumpkin with her. And that's what happened in extra time. Bonmati scored the winning goal with an extremely accurate shot from a crazy angle. But there's a reason footballers don't usually shoot from this angle. The goalkeeper usually has it covered, and for some reason Berger was not covering it. I think it's pretty clear she was not expecting Bonmati to shoot, but in no circumstance should a player score from that angle. Like, what is this positioning? Bonmati actually said after the game on tape, they found that Berger usually leaves the far posts open, so she knew there would be a chance, and it's like, oh my god, how is that something you overlook? And I just can't believe Bonmati had full meningitis 3 weeks ago. Spain deserve it. That was a great play by Bonmati, but seeing Yulabon cry, bro, why? And so all of that chaos finally comes down to this, the final, Spain versus England. And oh boy was there discourse in the first 30 minutes of the game. Lauren James was already coming back from injury entering this tournament, and Wiegman swore up and down that she was ready, and I mean it was looking pretty good in the group stage. But she got injured again in the quarterfinals, so I don't know why Wiegman still started her in the semis and final. They were on Twitter saying, she isn't putting in effort. This poor girl can't run right now. She's not fit. She's also not playing in the right position. Wiegman is not putting her in a position to succeed. And of course, she goes down in the 39th minute because she visibly can't run. I understand why they took the risk. She's a talented player, but this poor girl can't run. Remember, her brother is Reese James, so there is an injury thing with that family. Just complete mismanagement because it was clear they knew it might be an issue as Kelly was ready to get on. They were prepared for this. Anyways, Spain drew first blood in the 23rd, 24th minute with an excellent cross to find Mariana Caldente, and would you look at that, Guess who is at the center of it? Do you know who we should be having discourse over? Lucy fucking Bronze. How do you not see her? Huh. Well, now I feel bad. Not enough though. I don't know how Bronze is getting away with all these clear cleatings. Like, ref, do something, you have cards. This is medical malpractice. Honestly, I think Wiegman is trying to screw over Chelsea. Honestly though, Chelsea losing Bronze may be a plus for them. Out of nowhere though, England grab momentum and Kelly finds Russo for a header goal. Not great by the Spanish defense allowing Russo that space. But to be fair, for Russo, I will applaud her because she dunked on a fascist supporter. Meanwhile, Putellas wasn't playing that great and she got hooked after England's equalizer. Some people viewed that as made a team better, some people thought it was a mistake. Honestly, the whole midfield for Spain wasn't great, which is crazy because they're supposed to be the best midfield in the world, but in practice, they're not. Then it was Hannah Hampton's time to shine. I mean, she was a complete brick wall, even against Pina, who was subbed on to give fresh legs. And Hampton continued her form in the penalty shootout. I want all of y'all in the media talking bad about her to apologize. Her forcing Mary Earps to retire is the best thing that happened to this national team. And I'm so glad she proved all of y'all wrong, especially looking at you, Susie Rack. Yeah, I think we all knew how bad this shootout was going to go. I mean, it started with Mead doing a retake and missing. Mariona got saved again. Her second penalty missed of the tournament. This y'all's Ballon d'Or winner. Bonmati was saved by Hampton. Williamson, oh my god, there's no way. It came down to Chloe Kelly, and of course, she buries the pen. England defend their Euros title, questionably deservingly. Back-to-back champions though, as Spain only made one penalty. In the end of the day, I watched all these Euros matches, and I think it's fair to say that the USA will dog walk all of these teams in the World Cup if they don't improve. Oh my god, every team was playing horribly this tournament. Thank you guys so much for watching though. It takes a lot of time and effort to make these videos, so please like my video, it really helps the channel. And yeah, what were your thoughts on the knockouts and of course the final?